Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Freedom Celebration. If you're tuned in right now, thank you for being here. All of our folks on Black with No Chaser, Mississippi Move, and the Tougaloo College Young Alumni Council. Today we are celebrating freedom. It is the Freedom Celebration honoring the 60th anniversary of the Freedom Rides, the 61st anniversary of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, better known as SNCC, and the 80th birthday of Brother Hollis Watkins Muhammad. If you can, please share this with your friends and family and get ready to celebrate freedom in the cradle of the Mississippi Civil Rights Movement. The stream will begin soon. In the meantime, got some little music for you. We thank y'all for the birthday wishes. Shout out to the first person to wish Brother Hollis a happy birthday on this live stream, Miss Lynn Martin. And for our folks that are showing up as Facebook user, we're going to drop a link in the comments for you. That way your face and your comment will show up on screen and will be attributed to you. So keep the comments and the birthday wishes coming. The Freedom Celebration will be beginning soon. As we are preparing for folks walking in the room, we've got Representative DeKeither Stamps here, along with representatives from Tougaloo College. We want to remind you that you can head on over to Aspire Pura, Black-owned water company on Amazon. So check that out if you get a moment. As you can hear, DJ Mailman in the background playing music. Now, we won't be able to broadcast that music here on this stream because of licensing, but we want to remind you guys that we're doing this all in the name of freedom and celebrating one of our freedom fighters, one of our veterans of the civil rights movement, Brother Hollis Watkins Muhammad. So y'all bear with us as we get folks in the room, and the stream will begin shortly. Thank you all for being patient with us. Our guest of honor will be here shortly, and DJ Mailman from 99 Jams is here, spinning some great tunes for those of us that are already here and on site at the cradle of the Mississippi Civil Rights Movement, Tougaloo College. You'll also, if you stick with us during this stream, you'll be able to hear Tanya Boyd Cannon, international recording artist Tanya Boyd Cannon. She'll be singing the Negro National Anthem, along with leading us in a very, very special happy birthday closing song for Brother Hollis. So stick with us, join us, check back in with us when you can. It's the Freedom Celebration right here at Tougaloo College.
Freedom Celebration, honoring the 60th anniversary of the Freedom Ride, the 61st anniversary of SNCC, and it's the 80th birthday celebration for the one and only, the Honorable, yes, the man of the hour, Brother Hollis, Watkins, Mohammed. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. All right, we're going to bring to the stage right now Professor, poet, and author. Let's give a big round of applause and welcome C. Lee McInnes to the stage.
Good. Let me try that again. I'm an old country boy, Clarksdale, Mississippi. Had to understand I'm blues born, blues bred. When I die, I'm gonna be blues dead. So y'all gonna have to, when a country boy like me say, "How y'all doing?" I'm gonna need a little bit more than that dry city-fied. Some of y'all sitting there like y'all ain't never ate your greens and cornbread with your fingers. We ain't gonna have that this evening. Some of y'all sitting there like y'all ain't never had pot liquor. Looking around like, I have no idea what is this pot liquor to which he is referring. I don't act like you ain't never had no pot liquor. Pinto beans and cornbread. The only meal where you didn't need no meat was pinto beans and cornbread. So let me try it again. How y'all doing? Give it up to the DJ. Give it up to the DJ who has been doing two things. The DJ has been both entertaining us and inspiring us, which is two different things. Right? Right. Entertainment without purpose is spectacle. And so this DJ, if you've been listening to his playlist has had a purpose, which is to get us into the spirit of the evening, the spirit of celebration. I had somebody once ask me about Juneteenth. They said, well, and of course it was one of the Caucasian brothers said, brother, see, I don't really understand Juneteenth because I don't know if y'all are celebrating or mourning. I said, brother, that's the black experience. I said yes to both. Yes. That's the black experience. That's the blues experience. That's the spiritual experience. That's the gospel experience. Black people celebrate and mourn because that's what it is for us to do. So we gonna celebrate, as the old song said. I know. Miss Bolton knows how I got over. And sons of how we got over. So that's what we doing today. We celebrating how we got over. We thanking whatever God and spirituality and community that helped us to get over. Ashe? So let me hear a round of applause for the celebration. And as we've been told, we are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Freedom Rise, the 61st anniversary of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. I like to say SNCC, you know. And then, of course, the 80th birthday of Brother Hollis, Watkins, Muhammad. We welcome you all to Tougaloo College. Give it up for Tougaloo College, which was the cradle of the movement in the city, where activists who were working knew that they could come here and they could be two things. They could be protected and they could be fed. And I lean more toward the fed than the protected. If I'm fed, I know I'm protected, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a moment to pause. We're going to let one of our honorees enter. And so we're going to give it up for Brother Hollis, Watkins, Muhammad, as he makes his way into the building. So we're going to stop and pause and let him enter. And as they enter, to make sure that we give them a round of applause as they enter. So there you go. So we can let him in. And y'all, please, this man has dedicated his entire life to the movement. And give it up. The 1 minute. That's fine. I could probably caught him off guard. And so why are we doing that? I didn't know. Brother Sabir and Brother Mac had to get me straight on the technology. Are we streaming? Are we on the Facebooks and the YouTubes and the Insta books and the Facegrams and the, you know, I once had a student, you know, I tell students they'd have to submit their paper, you know, a hard copy. And the young man said, Miss McInnes, my paper's in the cloud. I sent it to you. It's in the cloud. I told myself, I went upside and looked upstairs and I ain't see nothing. So you get an F because I ain't see no no paper up in the cloud. So I guarantee that next day he had his paper printed. So, let me do this. I always do this since I got you up. I don't want you to just stand. Do me a favor, because we believe in health and wellness. I need everybody to stretch. I need you to stretch. Don't give me that cute, pretty. I'm too pretty and cute to stretch. I want everybody to stretch. I want you to breathe in, breathe out. Because one of the things we need to learn, I always tell people, I said, look, you are the only you that we have. So we need you so that we can be we. Ashe? So I need you. So you are the only you that we have. So we need you to be you so we can be we. Stretch one more time. Stretch one more time. Are we ready yet? Are we ready? We. All right, almost. So, with the mask, I usually just point people out. You hate to call on folks because you miss somebody, but I had to get it straight. So I had to get it straight because, he was one of my favorite councilmen, and, I hate when I lose somebody, it's we hate to see you go, but we glad to see you climbing. Does that make sense? And so I want to give it to give it up for one of my former favorite councilmen, but now, Representative Stamps. Give it up for him. Give it up for Representative Stamps in the building. I remember years ago when he was first running, getting ready to run, he was like, go check this brother. I don't really know. I just Stamps, Stamps, see Stamps. And I saw his name. I said, oh, Dakita. Oh, he going to be all right. Name like Dakita, He ain't trying to cross over to nobody named Dakita. You know what time it is just based on that. So we still checking. So if you want to sit, I don't want to have you standing. Let me. Okay, hold on. We coming. All right, y'all, make some noise. So they coming this time. He said, okay. That's why you my favorite councilman representative.
Oh, as I fight for my life, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, as I fight, I'm gonna let it shine. It's the light of mine. Well, now I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, as I fight for Tougaloo now, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, now, as I fight for Tougaloo now, I'm gonna let it shine. As I fight for Tougaloo now, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
One more time, round of applause for Brother Hollis, Watkins, Muhammad, and of course his wife, Sister Edna Muhammad, and the whole family. When Hollis roll, Hollis bring the whole family. Hollis never just come by himself. Y'all can have a seat. Y'all can have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Get comfortable. Get comfortable. And so now we're gonna follow the program as printed. So let me get I'll be wiping off the. COVID protocol. So we'll be wiping off the mic as folk come. So if you're coming to the mic and I ain't wiped it off, just say, hey, Brother Seeley, wipe me down. Ain't that a song? Wipe me down. And they, I'm old. I don't really know any of the songs. They be talking, the students be talking about, I was trying to be hip. I was like, what's that one? Vitamin B vitamin. What's the name? Like I said, students was like, I was calling the vitamin B, and they said, no, Miss McKinney, this is Cardi B. I said, oh, I like vitamin B better. I go with vitamin B. That's better for me. So, all right, so we gonna do what we always do as African spiritual people. We're gonna approach the throne. We're gonna approach the master. We're gonna approach the creator. And so please give a warm welcome to Elder Micah Harris, Master Divinity, Director of Spiritual Care and Biomedical Ethics. Please give it up for Elder Harris.
Good evening. Let us pray. Eternal Creator, we assemble here to honor the witness of Brother Hollis Watkins Muhammad. The relentless courage that he and others demonstrated reminds us of your selflessness and care. As we celebrate and acknowledge his courage, we pray that our sense of duty to our culture be renewed as we continue to fight for reparation and restoration in this land. As we honor Brother Muhammad's courage, we are mindful to remember Baba Moses, who recently has transitioned to the land of our ancestors. May his warrior spirit abide with us as we honor his memory. Again, we are grateful for your presence, and we pray that this moment will inspire movement as we have many works and deeds ahead of us as we seek Black liberation, Black empowerment, and Black excellence. Now we ask that you come, Holy Spirit, come, heavenly dove, with all of your life-giving power. Bless these waiting hearts of ours. It is with the spirit of courage and selflessness we pray. Ashe and amen.
Ashe, amen. Give it up for the pastor. Give it up for the minister. You all right, pastor? I have you come pray at Thanksgiving. You quick and quick. You didn't get up try to get no sermon in your prayer, nothing. I'm hungry. The cornbread getting cold. Hold on. So we're gonna do a quick skip for a second. We're gonna go to the greetings from Tougaloo. That's going to be brought to us by Dr. Whitney McDowell Robinson, Vice President for Enrollment Management and Student Services. That's an important job. Y'all give her a hand. Give Dr. a hand. And she's managing. Oh, sorry, Doc. Let me get you right down.
Good evening. On behalf of Tougaloo College, I am privileged to bring greetings to tonight's honoree, program participants, organizers, and attendees. Tougaloo College has national recognition for our high academic standards and social responsibility. The college reached the ultimate demonstration of this social commitment during the turbulent years of the 1960s. During that period, Tougaloo College was at the forefront of civil rights in Mississippi, serving as a safe haven for those who fought for freedom, equality, and justice. Tougaloo's leadership, its courage in opening the campus to the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, freedom riders, and other civil rights workers and leaders, and its bravery in supporting a movement helped change this state's economic, political, and social fabric. As a student at Tougaloo College, Brother Hollis Watkins Muhammad became a member and organizer with SNCC, was a county organizer for the 1964's Freedom Summer, and assisted with the efforts of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party of 1964. Additionally, he is a founder of the Mississippi Veterans of the Civil Rights Movement, which is housed right here on Tougaloo College's campus. Tougaloo College is proud to continue our work and our partnership with leaders and organizations to make significant change in our state, nation, and the world. Thank you and greetings again.
Y'all get a sister hand. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm in that awkward stage. Like I don't need glasses to see far away, but I need them to read. Right? You know that's kind of like when you're on that hill and getting up there at that age. So I can see y'all fine, but I can't see nothing on this paper. I can't pass not one. When I go take the eye exam, I just start rifling off the alphabet A, B, C. Like, no, he need glasses. He need glasses. All right, so I think the plan is here. We gonna go to the libation. Are we? Is that what we are? We or no? Are we just trying to get my boundaries about me? If not, we'll just keep moving. We'll come back to the libation. So what we'll do then is again, I've shouted this brother out. He's gonna bring the greetings and purposes. Like I said, he. Stay there just for a second, because I in the spirit of this is the brother who was working for people before he got elected. Does everybody understand the point I'm trying to make? And so he wasn't somebody when he started running for office was saying, if you vote for me, this is what I'm going to do. He was saying, if you put me in office, this is what I'm going to continue to do. And so I use him as an example that the next person who asks you for their vote, ask them one simple question. Ask them, whose feet have you washed? And if they ain't never washed no feet, then you shouldn't give them your vote. Does that make sense? This brother is a real feet washer, one of my favorite city councilmen, and now Representative Keith Stamps. Y'all give it up for him.
Well, good evening, everyone. Hey, give him another hand for that wonderful introduction. I'll pay you later. Well, first off, thanks to all the organizers, Mississippi Move, People's Advocacy Institute, One Voice, Veterans of the Civil Rights Movement, and all the folks here who are honoring this young man and this beautiful young lady for their work in our community. Because where would we be if not for the works and efforts that they and many others put in place? Where would we be? I may not be a state rep. I know I wouldn't be a state representative. We'd be sharecropping somewhere if not for the hard work and dedication and sacrifice of Brother Hollis Watkins and Sister Edna and many of the other veterans of the Civil Rights Movement. I love you. So on behalf of the Mississippi Black Caucus, we appreciate all the work you've done. And they also tasked me with giving the purpose. You have to know where you came from and the stories and the pathway that's gone before you, so that you can realize it's not about the wine dinners and the fundraisers. It's about making that sacrifice worth it, making that sacrifice mean something. Because in our current state of politics, both locally and nationally, sometimes you forget that people died and paid a price for us to be in these positions. Not just about us to be on the news or like be in interviews and those kinds. Some people actually paid a real price with real blood and real sweat and real sacrifices, and we must conduct ourselves accordingly. And programs like this and men and women like these are worth that sacrifice and worth us doing what we're supposed to do when we get in office. So I just want to say that's the purpose of why we're here. And I got one quick story. You know, Brother Hollis and Sister Edna are more. I don't just like them. I love them. And they're just like uncle or auntie or grandfather. Sometimes you don't want to do what they ask you to do. Well, a couple of weeks ago, they asked me, hey, we just want you to come take a look at a piece of property and help us walk through it. Well, I get down there to the property, and he get out the car, she get out the car. I know, don't bow your head now, Sister Edna. You the reason that it happened. And I said, it's nothing but jungle. Well, we want to walk through it and take a look, find the markers. Now here I am. You know, I'm pretty healthy. I got to walking and got to sweating, and got to walking and got to sweating. And next thing I know, I'm like, hold on now. Brother Hollis, you 79 years old. Sister Edna, you 32. We ain't got no business with Brother Hollis' 79-year-old self walking through these woods, and it's 200 degrees out here. But God helped us make it our journey. But that just showed me personally how dedicated he is. Because if he bought it, he gonna look at every inch of it to make sure it's in accordance to where it's supposed to be, and the people he paid have done what they're supposed to do. And we walked that land until I just said, hey, you know what? If he fall down and break an ankle or something, nobody in this room will ever forgive me. So before I had to carry you back, let's just walk on back to the car and make a few loops around. But I love you. I appreciate you. And when you want to go back out there to rural Hinds County, call me. I'll bring Mac this time. And Mac can walk with us. So thank you very much, Brother Hollis, Sister Edna, and thanks for all of you. Because there are many other places you could be, but you chose to be here doing this for these wonderful folks out here. God bless and Godspeed.
Y'all give it up again for Representative Stamps. Not to be confused with my favorite burger place, Stamps Burgers. If you've never been there, it's the greatest burger in the world. Because after you eat it, you ain't gonna want nothing to eat for the next 2 weeks. It is also the biggest burger you will ever have in your life. Oh man, it's my time of the show now. What's coming up now is the cultural enlightenment, the cultural entertainment, the poetry. Look at y'all half-looting people. Does he mean poetry? Is referring to the language arts? No, I said poetry. And not chicken either. That's what I'm talking about. The real bringing of the word. So I want y'all to be extra loud because, you know, myself as a writer, as a poet, short story writer, I always find kindred with other writers. And we do a great job supporting the arts, and we need to continue to do a great job supporting all the arts. Because young people are going to be creative. Now, it's up to us as elders to determine, are they going to create for positive or are they going to create for negative? And if a young person creates negatively, it's because those of us as adults didn't give them the blueprint to how to be constructive. Does that make sense? So I want y'all to get real loud and welcome this sister to the podium. Y'all give it up for Queen E. She's a poet, professor, and author.
Good evening. How are y'all this evening? I am Queen E of Queen E Speaks. I am a poet from right here in Mississippi. I do host a poetry show here on the first Friday in every month. And it is my pleasure to stand before you all and honor Brother Hollis. This piece that I am about to recite, I wrote it in honor of the men in my life. So I'm going to get right into this thing. Did you know that this world has been misleading? Did you know that you do not deserve to die in the streets? Left there cold, left there bleeding. Did you know that you are not a thug? You are not a villain. You are not some bad guy like they said from that helicopter in the sky when you had your hands held high, yet and still you die. But did you know that you are not who they say that you are? You are not a weapon of mass destruction. You are not this image that the world has constructed. You are our fathers. You are our husbands. You are our sons. You are our brothers. So right now, right here, we're going to disregard who they say that you are. And I'll ask you, do you know who you are? Do you know who you were born to be? Well, listen up, brothers. Let me tell you who and what I see. I see royalty. And not that you come from royalty, not who your ancestors were, but that you, yes, you are royalty. You were born with something special within you, my brother, are a king amongst men. So tell me, king, do you know who you truly are? Do you know how high you've set the bar? Can you see what I am seeing? Do you feel the aura that surrounds your very being? My brother, you are covered head to foot in a priceless treasure. The way your melanin sparkles in the sun is something no man can measure. They would have you believe that you are worthless, when in fact, my brother, you are something truly blessed. They would have you believe that you are weak, but they are the true clowns, because you, my brother, possess a strength that knows no bounds. You are strong enough to carry the world up on your shoulders. You have hands that were built to break boulders. You are certainly a king amongst men. And when you open your mouth to speak, oh, my brother, I have never heard anything sound oh so sweet. There is power in your voice. Let that be your weapon. Let them know that you do have a choice. And that mind of yours is such an amazing thing. Yet they will do everything they can to destroy what's within you. But when you walk into a room, they cower in fear, because what you exude is something the average man just can't bear. How sometimes I can barely contain myself. And ladies, y'all know it's true. See, we know that there is something that is just unfathomable about you. You were born with so much power within that the world just can't stand it, nor can they begin to understand it. And that is why they fear you. See, man fears what he does not understand, but what he does not understand is that you, my brother, are no regular man. Simply a king amongst men. So hold your head high, king. Proudly wear your crown. And know that we love you with a love that knows no bounds, because you are truly a king amongst men. I am Queen E, and when she speaks, you listen. Happy birthday, sir.
That's right. Give it up for Queen E. Give it up again for Queen E. Yeah. I heard y'all. Yeah. Snap, snap. I just love black people. We just do everything with extra flavor, don't we? You know, but that's who we are. We are the salt of the earth. We are the color. We are the motion. We are the first beat of the earth. As the sister said, that is who we are. So we're going to keep moving. I'm about to get a little help from Sister Rakia and from Sister Betty. We're going to bring up the libation. So y'all give it up for Sister Rakia and Sister Betty as they come. The libation. Give it up for this hard-working sister, People's Advocacy. You know, I get old. You can tell when you're getting old when you start seeing people and you say, you look just like your mama, don't you? Look just like your mama. So, all right, you ready? Oh,
Thank you. Hey, everybody. It's such an honor to celebrate you, Brother Baba, Minister Hollis Watkins, veteran of the Civil Rights Movement. We appreciate you and love you deeply. As we're waiting on the beautiful flower to come up so that we can offer libations, normally we start this at the beginning of any celebration, right? Because we recognize that we have to celebrate and appreciate the fact that we are all together. So we start with prayer and we start with libation to give thanks to the ancestors that allowed us to also be here today through their action of liberation, of fight, of guidance, also from many ways that they taught us when they were alive and all the ways that they continue to protect us while they're no longer here in the physical form on this earth. And so, so I guess I'm gonna do this, and super excited about doing it. So I'm gonna do it a little different. No, I think it's okay. I'm just gonna open. Do you mind opening the water? So Rukia Lumumba, happy to represent the Lumumbas here tonight. You know, yes. Before I get started, I'll say that Brother Hollis, you know, my father left us here and my mother left us here on this earth with some amazing human beings that have taught us so much in our lives. And one of the things that you have definitely taught me and been an example of is this understanding of collective leadership. And I follow the writings and the work of Fannie Lou Hamer and Ella Baker. And Ella Baker was one of those amazing humans that really pushed that, right? Like pushed collective leadership. But you practice it. And you continue to practice it, you know, and you continue to this day to practice it. And we know that we can always call on you. You have always been present to help guide us, whether we're bringing new people into Mississippi to help them understand the Mississippi movement, our movement for justice and human rights here, or whether it's you speaking to us directly. You have been that guide. And I am very humbled and thankful to know you, to know your family, your beautiful wife who has continued to be by our side as we figure out all the ways that we can actually govern in a way that is collective, a way that recognizes that the people are our voice, that the people are the decision makers. And none of that would have been possible without your guidance, without your strength, without your courage. So everything that we have today, you have helped us to get there to this day. Everyone here in this room, and I know for a fact for my family and for myself, it is an honor to celebrate you every year that we celebrate you. And I look forward to celebrating you for many, many, many more, as long as you will let us. So thank you. Happy birthday. Faraha Kuzaliwa, as we say in the New African Peoples Movement and Organization, we thank you, and free to land. Free to land. All right. So on behalf of myself, of my family, of the Malcolm X Grassroots Movement and the New African Peoples Organization, we celebrate you and we offer libations today. Give me a second. Let me pull up the libation script. To the Creator in heaven, and all the ancestors who sit at the feet of the Creator, in the lifetime which is yet to come, we say, Ashe. To all our ancestors who are fortunate enough to be buried in the soil of Africa, in the lifetime which is to come, we say, Ashe. To all our ancestors who died during the Middle Passage, in the lifetime which has come, we say, Ashe. To all of our ancestors whose names we do not know, we say, Ashe. O ancestors, brighter than the night at midnight, brighter than the midday sun, and all the beautiful shades of Africa in between. Great ancient priests, warriors and mystic scientists, field slaves, house slaves, domestic workers, factory workers, professionals, teachers, freedom fighters. We say, those who chose to survive. Give us this, us, the inspiration to fight 1,000 lions. Give us the enlightenment to unravel the mysteries of the universe. Give us the sustenance to travel through the trackless swamps of disharmony. Praise always your African names. Join us in this day of celebration. We say Ashe. And I ask you now to call out the ancestors in your family, those that are close to you, that you know. Call them out, and we will say Ashe as folks call out their ancestors. Ashe. Come on, I can't hear you. Call out your ancestors. Ashe. Shokwe Lumumba. Nubia Lumumba. Isabel Burke. Who else? Come on. Who are your ancestors? Your grandparents. Ashe. Ashe. We call them into the room today to be with us, to celebrate with us, to guide us. Now let's call out Ashe. Ashe. Let's call out those ancestral mentors, those that have through their work guided us. Bob Moses. Ashe. Ashe. Anybody else? Anybody else? Ashe. Mm-hmm. To all our ancestors, we give thanks and praise. We say Ashe. And to all of those whose names we do not know, we give thanks and praise. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Oh. And all Ashe means is, and so it will be, we give thanks. All right. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much. Y'all say I was slick and I put Rakia to work. Y'all say I put her to work. Give it up, give it up. And notice she didn't even hesitate. She just took the baton. That's a cultural worker, right? So give it up for Sister Rakia. All right, now we got some more. Let me get my glasses on. So now we coming. They got a word before something. But all I see is national anthem. That's all I see. I mean, I'm sure there's a word before national, but all I see is national anthem. So we got a sister that's gonna come and deliver the national anthem. As I'm concerned, much better than that other one. And when I say that, I don't mean just aesthetically. Read the whole thing. Like, read the lyrics. They want you to stand for that. So y'all please give it up for this sister. She has a beautiful, beautiful voice. Sister Tanya Boyd Cannon. Give it up for her as she comes. Slipping on my job.
Thank you so much. What an honor to sing our anthem. I will be singing all three stanzas, so I do want to give respect because I can't just sing the first stanza. And I do understand that it will be time, so if you have to sit down, I respect. So, Baba, thank you. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening ride. felt in the days when hope unborn has died. Yet with the steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sigh. We have come over the ways that with tears have been watered. We have come treading the path through the blood of the slaughter. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path, we pray, lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee, lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy head, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land, true to our God, true to our native land.
Come on. Come on now. Don't act like you didn't just hear that. Don't act like that didn't go through you. Come on. A little bit more. Give it just a little bit more. Come on now. Boy, I see. Y'all can have a seat. Y'all can have some. Boy, I see you. Leader Bolton and 2-3 ministers. And all I want to do is just say, turn it now to Exodus 2. Well, she done sung up a sermon. I don't know about y'all. Whole time she was singing, I was just like, the doors are open. The doors. Won't you come? Won't you come? Y'all feeling all right? Y'all in the spirit? Y'all in the mood? I know y'all are. I know y'all are. Now we gonna keep rolling, man. We just got heavyweight after heavyweight after heavyweight. So we got the Freedom Riders. And let me get I can see the big print. I can't see the little print. It's messed up, ain't it? I'm up here trying to fake. What is? And so for the Freedom Riders, we gonna have Dave Dennis come, and veteran of civil rights movement, to come and just give us a little history on the Freedom Riders. So y'all give a hand. Is Brother Dennis here? Hold on. Just 1 second. I was gonna say I'm looking around. I'm my eyes going right at a Freedom Rider. I mean, I can. In the mask to my left over here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So do they have a video or no? Okay. All right. I know. I mean, we gotta. Would there be one who want to talk about the Freedom Riders? Wanna? Well, see, Frank, Mr. Figures is on the program, so we don't want to overtax him. Come on, brother. Yeah, you see us looking at you. He looking around like, yeah, who they looking at? They y'all give his brother a hand. And after he unmasked himself, I'm gonna make him tell who he is, and then y'all gonna clap even louder. Because you can see him at the Mississippi Museum of Arts giving them great tours.
Hello, how's everyone? My name is Hezekiah Watkins, and not related to my good brother Hollis, but we do share the same last name. Those of you who may or may not know much about me, I was arrested at the age of 13 and sent to Parchment Prison, just like Brother Brother Hollis was sent there, and went on to be arrested 109 times totally. And the number of arrests was done for everyone that's in this room tonight. It was done for my kids, although I didn't have any at the time. It was done for my grandkids. I didn't have, but I do now, because I knew as a freedom rider, one day I was going to grow up and I was going to fall in love. And after falling in love, I was going to marry somebody. And I did just that. And I was going to have kids, and I did. And doing all of that, I said to myself, I'd be damned if my kids is going to grow up in the environment that I was growing up in. And I think that myself, Brother Hollis Watkins, and others made a difference for you. And I also would like to thank Tougaloo College, because if it had not been for this institution, I don't know what we would have done. So once again, thank you, Brother Hollis. Happy birthday. Happy anniversary to both of us. And like Frank Figures would always say, stay strong.
Hezekiah Watkins, y'all give it up for him. Give it up. That's right. Stand up for him. Stand up. This is a civil rights veteran, an icon. Yes, I'm gonna give it. When everybody sits, I want everybody to sit for a second. Thank you, brother. We're gonna take a moment. We want all the veterans of the civil rights movement to stand. We want all y'all to stand. Stand, veterans. Stand, veterans. Give it up for the veterans, y'all. Give it up for the veterans. Thank you so much, brother, for doing that. That's right. He's arrested at 13. I was out somewhere being trifling at 13. I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't. He said arrested over 100 times. You know, about the 20, 30 times they'd arrested me, like, y'all ain't got nobody else arrested. I mean, come on, man. It's running me back and up and forth through here. I mean, but that speaks to we are not free because somebody wanted us to be free. It has never been in the other side's desires for us to be free. Whatever freedom we have attained, we've done so of our own grit, by our own diligence, and of our own selves. That's why we're here celebrating today. So that, as Brother Watkins said, so that our children and grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren will know that we never waited on anybody to free us. That's part of the lie of the narrative. The people who had us in chains, they didn't all of a sudden come through some epiphany like, we're wrong. We should stop doing this. Because if that was true, they wouldn't be trying to keep us from voting today. So how can you tell me those people have changed when every day they are creating new policy to make it difficult for you to be free? And so we are here today to acknowledge and to study both the Bible and the Quran says you must study to show yourself what? And that's what we're doing today. Thank you again, Brother Watkins. Now we're going to go. I'm sorry, y'all. Back to the glasses. Well, I can't see when I look up. That's the problem. Y'all look like a glob now. I have no idea. And that was old Nisa Mae Lambright hollering out like she ain't got no home training. See, and I just wrote an article giving her a shout out. I'm gonna go delete that part out the article now. That's what I'm gonna go do. As soon as I get back to the house, delete. How you like that for my glasses? Can you see that? Y'all give it up for Nasami Lambright. Started at Southern Echo. Started by Brother Hollis. Also Mike Sayre and Leroy Johnson. And from Southern Echo, we get Nasami Lambright, who before she was the head of One Voice, was the first African-American to head a state ACLU chapter. So that's those seeds from Bob Moses to Hollis Watkins to Nasami Lambright. Also, big head Derek Johnson. He ain't here, so I'm going to keep saying it till you get here. Big head Derek Johnson. Also started at Southern Echo. And now is the head of the national NAACP. That's the blueprint that we follow. And so we got a perfect person coming now to tell us about their blueprint and everything else. This is a man who is a warrior, who is a teacher, and has been a mentor to everybody he's ever met. Get real loud for Mr. Frank Figgers, veterans of the Civil Rights Movement.
To the Master of Order, Vice President of Tougaloo College, and to all of you warriors who make this great assembly. Happy birthday, Brother Hollis. Sister Edna, God bless you. This is a freedom celebration as listed on the program. So I want to, in this celebration, I want to unravel something for you that may be helpful on your way. Brother Epps asked me to speak, and he said, you only have a little while, but I want you to talk about the founding of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, and I want you to talk about the Freedom Rise, and I want you to talk about Brother Hollis. Now, Brother Hollis lived 80 years. I mean, so it takes more. But let me try to do this in keeping with what Brother Epps said. The Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee was founded in 1960. It was founded off of the energy and the intellect of young people. Young people wanted a way to express themselves in terms of the movement, thus gave us, through the inspiration of Miss Ella Jo Baker, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. It was supplied by a grant from, believe it or not, Martin Luther King and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Now, in the founding of SNCC, after that came the Freedom Ride. The truth actually be told, the young people of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee rescued the Freedom Riders. The Freedom Riders, as you know, were leaving the DC area, coming to New Orleans, and they were coming to change conditions. But what they encountered was a lot of violence. Mississippi, as well as Alabama and the places in the South, they didn't want things to change. But these people that got on those buses and came south, they wanted to help make change. Another thing they encountered was the energy and intellect of young people of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, and young people in general, whether they signed up for the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee or not. That's what they found. And it was those young people, when the older people said that the rides shouldn't go on because buses were getting bombed, people were getting beat, and they just need to stop. It's too dangerous. The young people carried it on, and they carried it on all the way to Mississippi. Now, just like Mr. Hezekiah Watkins said, when they got to Mississippi, they encountered a larger group of young people that were doing what Freedom Riders were coming to Mississippi to do. They got on. And as Mr. Watkins said, they went to Parchment. But out of the Parchment experience, they went in as Freedom Riders. And because of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, out of the Parchment experience, they became freedom workers. And what work did they do, you might ask? Well, the work that they did by 1960, that was 61. By 1963, November of 1963, they produced the Freedom Vote campaign, where over 80,000 people in the state of Mississippi participated. They also, to get that to happen, they also had to educate people. So they produced Freedom Schools, a way to educate people so that they would want to take matters in their own hands and do what they could do without any restriction. Because the state of education in Mississippi was deplorable, especially for Black people. So they produced an education initiative called Freedom Schools. So they freedom workers, freedom riders evolved to freedom workers. Freedom workers produced Freedom Schools, which led to a Freedom Vote campaign. And the biggest outcome of that everybody knows about because of the work that the freedom workers did was a freedom party, the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, and the challenge that they did in August of 1964. That produced the 1965 Voting Rights Act, of which a few years ago, we were able to elect a president of the United States that was directly traceable to the work that Brother Hollis, Brother Watkins, and others in this room, your parents and descendants, were able to do. So I salute the work that Brother Hollis did. I salute him on his birthday. I salute all of you who carry on that great legacy and that great work, and keep it up and stay strong.
Give it up for Mr. Frank Figures. The teacher. He gave y'all 70 years of history in 5 minutes. That's knowledge. And that's why we want that knowledge to be around forever. And so every time you see Mr. Figures from now on, I want you to greet him, tell him that you love him, and then say, and we waiting on that book, Mr. Figures. I want from now on, yeah, give it up for that. I want from now on, greet him, tell him that you love him, say, what's up with that book? Now we gonna go. Get my eyeglasses again. So we're doing, wait, okay, very good, very good. So I just want to just shout out a few people, and some of y'all behind masks. So I'm not good at recognizing people behind masks. Okay, hold on a second. The guest of honor want to say something. And when the guest of honor want to say something, the guest of honor gets to say something. Yeah, give it up, give it up.
Thank you very much. I want to leave a little bit of information with most of us that we don't have. I just want all of us to know that most of us don't know and understand the extent of Tougaloo and community young people and students. I say that because the Klan and the white folks had intended to burn Tougaloo down. And the officials at Tougaloo was too afraid to turn the young folks aloof. So since Tougaloo administration was afraid to turn the Tougaloo students aloof, the students said, we understand old folks. So we're not going to blame them, not going to hold them responsible. We're going to take care of our school ourselves. And that's what we did. Knowing that the Klan and white were talking about burning Tougaloo down at any point in time, a certain number of young men got themselves together, and we put a line of confrontation right up and down the fence out here. Put the line of defense there. I don't remember exactly how many of us young men were there, but it was a good many of us, and we set up a system by which we exchanged schedules with one another so we wouldn't have to depend on 2 or 3 taking the brunt of all of that was going on. So a lot of people don't know it, but that is one of the things that gave longevity to Tougaloo College, was the young people who had enough nerve and foresight to say, if you won't do it, we'll do it. That's why we can clearly, without any aid and assistance, young people from Tougaloo College could always stand up and let the world know, there's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light, a light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine now, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it. Oh, I've got the light of freedom. Well, now I'm gonna let it shine. Well, now I've got the light of freedom. I'm gonna let it shine. I've got the light of freedom. Well, now I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Yes, give it up, give it up. So they created a human barricade to stop them from burning the college to the ground. So we're moving right along. We do into the third part of our program, so we're not going to keep you much longer. Just one, and I hate doing this because I know I'm going to forget some people, but I just always want to give out a couple of shout outs. There's a gentleman you've been seeing taking pictures. We know him as Brother Lucata, and I just want you to stand up and wave at the people. That's Brother Lucata in the back. He's been a long time servant, and I do mean servant and feet washer. He got me. I was always practicing and celebrating Kwanzaa in my house, and he and Jollivet Anderson, the poet warrior, was like, well, brother, you need to celebrate Kwanzaa out here with the rest of us. And they got me out of my house, and he basically educated a whole generation of people, about the importance of Kwanzaa and the importance of Black people owning things and taking control and being about solutions. So I always have to give a shout out to Brother Lucata when he's in the house. So give it up for Brother Lucata.
so many people. I know I'm gonna forget some people. To see Sister Ia right here in the house. Wave at the people, Sister Ia, and just want to have to shout out to people. And if I miss it, it's because the mask is wearing me out. So now we got some remarks coming. Got some people coming to talk about the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. These are SNCC members. Dr. Frank Smith. I'm sorry. I'm going to go. I'm sorry. We're gonna go to Brother Curtis Muhammad. He's gonna come and talk to us about the. Okay. All right. We're going through that. We on the fly. So we go to our next group, and you've seen this sister already. I put her to work a little early. You good? You said it. Okay. So she said everything. She's like, I said everything. She was doing double duty. I said that's why I got it all out while I was up here. One trying to walk back up them stairs more than once. I know we all trying to get our non-COVID legs back. Some of you don't even remember where your clothes are. Some of you couldn't find your clothes the first time. And I got some suits in here somewhere. I got some things out here. So we want so give it up to Sister Rakia. She came up and she did the libation and she educated us. And so next, of course, and the next brother comment, I can say this, that the Jackson Nation of Islam has always been present in everything that we've tried to do in this community. Ashe? Yeah, give it up for that. Give it up for that. And I'm gonna show you how, I'm gonna date myself. Because I know I should be talking about all the positive social and political and educational things that the nation has done over the years. But my favorite thing, them plums and peaches used to get on the corner of Ellis and Robinson. Boy, the nation almost put the grocery store out of business with them plums. So if you ever had one of them nation plums and peaches, boy, I tell you, look here. Then look at them peaches and plums were so good. I knew I was a Christian. I was biting going, praise be to Allah. Praise those. I'm sorry, Jehovah. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. When them plums were so. But I just always have to give a shout out because they have always been present and accountable. And so we're gonna have Minister Abraham Muhammad come and give us some words about the movement and about the nation's place in the movement. Give it up for the minister.
Assalamu alaikum. First and foremost, giving honor to God, who's the head of my life. I'm thankful to Almighty God Allah for allowing me to have the wonderful gift of life to get right today what I may have failed in yesterday. And I thank him, and I'm a proud and humble student of my leader, teacher, and guide, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And it humbles me much to be here in your presence today for this momentous occasion for a man whom I love so dearly. I thank all of the organizers who put this event together this evening. I thank all of those who are out front and all of those who are behind the scene to give to our dear brother flowers while he lived, to honor and recognize him and all of those with him for being here today. As I sit here in this auditorium here at Tougaloo College, I'm reminded of the history that flows at this wonderful institution. All of the freedom fighters, all of those with consciousness, all of the organizing and putting together of things to make it better for us. And when we think of some of the luxuries that we enjoy today, as you said, Representative Stamp, that a price had to be paid for that. And when I hear Brother Watkins talk about 109 times, arrested so that I can have the privilege of speaking freely. I thank you for that. But specifically, I want to thank my surrogate father, Brother Hollis, a man who is responsible for me being here in the great state of Mississippi. A man who, when I met October of 2012, actually it was June of 2012, the first time, he talked with me and gave me the history of not only this city, but of this state, and how he would carve a way out for me to be able to come and help represent the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and fall in love with the people here. I am so in love with Mississippi that I sometimes forget I'm a Florida boy. That's all right. Because of the work I have seen him do and continue to do, but more so the subtle mentorship that he's given to me. 61 years of an organization he helped to create. 60 years of the Freedom Ride. And 80 years young to come and speak with such boldness and sing, how can I not stand up? Lest his work be in vain. But Hollis, I'm forever in your debt for you allowing God to use you to help us. I'm forever in your debt for you allowing God to use you to speak to me. I'm forever in your debt for you making a way to show me how to attempt to get it right. I thank you and Sister Edna, who really is like a mother to me. No, I'm talking about she talked to me that way. No. Let's put down the pulpit and all that talk. I'm talking about she talks to me like that. Now, Brother Minister, I'm gonna get on you now. And she does it. But she loves her husband, she loves our people, and she loves what it is that we can accomplish. So I just want to say, Brother Hollis, on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, on behalf of all of those that you've touched in the nation, one day you all really have to learn this man's story of during the times when the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was amongst us. It was Brother Hollis who was in charge of all the farmland in Alabama. That's right. That fed not only the nation, but numerous of our people. Agriculture, the fish and the vegetables, the fruits. I mean, he was over the whole state of Alabama. Then when it was time for the work to be resurrected again under the minister, it was Brother Hollis that stood here in Jackson. It was Brother Hollis who has touched many of our Islamic lives, but his tree has branches that are so broad. Coming here and seeing him going to Minnesota and speak, going to North Carolina and speaking, going to these various places. I'm like, Brother Hollis, what are you going to Minnesota to speak for? There's someone there that needs to be touched. Someone there that needs to know the truth. And he go. It's only been recently due to COVID that he hadn't been traveling speaking. If it wasn't for that, we probably be talking to him via Zoom. Because he's always in the work. Brother Hollis, we thank you for giving us a foothill. We thank you, we salute you, we honor you, and we pray that we can take the work to the next level so that your work would not be in vain. Sister Ethan, keep on loving him, keep on protecting him, keep on being hard on us. I know we don't have to tell you about any of those things, especially that last part, because you enjoyed that. a little too much. But but we thank you, we love you, we honor you, and thank each and every one of you for being here so that he can see and feel the love from each and every one of us. You could be doing anything, but to take time out your schedule to be here to show him this love and appreciation, we are thankful for it. I thank the news media outlet for being here. My good brother, you always make me look good when I have to represent the city, brother. I appreciate you. But thank you for being here to catch Brother Hollis on this, because I notice it's you that's here. And it's history with your news outlet. So we thank you. And Brother Matt, I'll be remiss, brother, if I didn't call you out. Man, always behind the scene. Never try to be out front, but your works are always out front. We thank you, Brother Matt, for loving our people and being a student of Brother Hollis and demonstrating what you've learned and what you do and all you do. Just as Sister Rikia has said, he has touched each and every one of us. To our new alderman in Philadelphia, Mississippi, we thank you, Brother Sean. Another brother responsible for me being here in the great state of Mississippi. We thank you for the great work, brother, and we know that you're a student of Brother Hollis, and we know that you're going to take care of the people there. To our chief, good to see you here, Chief Owens, my good friend and comrade. Thank you, brother. Representative Stamps and anyone else who I may have missed, please charge it to my head and not to my heart. Thank each and every one of you. We love you. Brother Frank, always good, brother. Thank you. Thank you. So, Brother Hollis, once again, we love you, brother. We honor you. Keep on strong. You got a long way to go, because we have a long way to go. So it ain't no going into no retirement right now, because you gotta make sure that we straight to get this thing straight to take us to another level. I know when we see things happen in the world, it may sometimes make us think that all the work is gone for naught. But I will humbly share with you that that is just a small sign of the enemy hand still being at work. But God's hand is always sometime unseen, but the work is manifest. You will not be in vain. We pledge our life to that. So we love you, we honor you, and Assalamu alaikum.
Y'all give it up for the minister. Give it up for the minister. We almost at the end. We almost at the stretch. We there. We there. Matter of fact, while you don't get up, just stretch in your seat. Just stretch in your seat. Stretch in your seat. Get that last good stretch out. Recognize a few more people. Y'all give it up for the president of the Jackson City NAACP, Sister Lee. Y'all give it up for her. Wave at the people. Wave at the people. Don't be, there you go. Don't be, she I ain't come here for all that, silly. Go ahead on and do what you do. No. You president. We got to always acknowledge people. And we shouted out Brother Matt, but we'd be remiss we didn't shout out Brother Chuck and Brother Sabir. Y'all wave at the people. Wave at the people, I mean, these three brothers are always working, always moving. Sabir had 2 cameras at one time. Is he working 2 cameras at the same? I can't even work one phone. He got 2 cameras. So y'all give it up to them brothers. They always working. Just want to make sure we acknowledge this minute. Want to come here and give all right. Now it's family time. The stage finna get full with a whole bunch of Watkins, because that's how they roll. It's I've never been anywhere with at least 12, 13 Watkins. And Hollis was trying to make his own starting 5 and second 5 come off the bench. Had 2 or 3 of them running track. I mean, but it's just, so we gonna get real loud and welcome the family. Y'all, come to Walking. Y'all, we gonna give it up for Kim, Deborah, Hollis Jr., John.
this family, brother Hollis, Watkins, Muhammad, and just because you see the name, I guarantee it's 4 or 5 of them here that ain't even on the paper. Just told you, look at just you know, look at the Watkins roll like Parliament Funkadelic, right? You go to a Parliament show, like 800 musicians on the stage. Some ain't old enough. Parliament. What is a parliament? Now give it up for him again.
Good evening. Thank you all for coming out and celebrating Daddy Hollis's birthday, for celebrating his life and giving him his flowers while he's here. There are several people in the audience that I know from years and years ago. Brother Frank Figures. Sharon, come up. Sharon is a niece. Come up.
Get up for Sharon.
Where's Deborah? Are there any more relatives? Are there any more relatives in the audience? Because we want you up here. Okay. Thank you all. I can't say enough. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you, Nation of Islam, for being here. Nation of Islam was a part of my formative childhood. My brother Hollis was in my life at that time. Okay. And we had wonderful years then. Okay. So thank you again. I'm not going to be long, but I do want to, Daddy Hollis, I want to say happy birthday from the immediate family. Chetney, Malcolm, Micah, Mike, Dara, Denise, San, Stacy. These are all his children, you guys. And these are the grandkids. Simone, Patience. Simone, Patience, Rhea, Josh, Mariah, Miracle, Rachel, Denise, Shad, Mike, Kellen, Sanjulu, Aisha, Kiki, Jamal. Who else? Well, I already did mine. Stacy, Shayna, Shina, and Jamal, TJ. Naomi. Naomi is here. Right here. James. Who else? Hollis's kids. Asha, Aaron, and Camille. I've gotten a little older, so I can't remember everybody's names anymore. All right, but thank you all so much. I'm just going to be brief because I know my brothers. My brothers are a true legacy of both my mother and my father Hollis. In every right, they sing, they preach, they're long, they're long-winded when it comes to this mic, and you're going to see that in just a minute. All right. Well, I'm going to turn it over, and thank you all.
I'm going to be brief as well. I'll just say that Uncle Big was my mother's baby brother, and I just love him so. I go by the house and I leave gifts on the porch, and I just love him so. Many people honor him for what he did, but I love him for who he is. I love him because he is the epitome of humility. He is the epitome of selfless service. He is the epitome of a gentleman. He is the epitome of Uncle Big. For everything that I am, for everything that I still hope to be, you are my little light. You are my little light. You have the voice of an angel and the character to match. And if I never say it to your face again, I want you to know that I thank you and I appreciate you and I love you. You mean the world to me. I'm an educator, and it's an honor to teach about you. I'm a school administrator, and it's an honor to tell my teachers to teach about you. And then when they don't remember who you are because they just think you Hollis Watkins, I let them know that's my Uncle Big. He might be all of that to all of you, but at the end of the day, he's my Uncle Big.
That's my cousin Sharon, and you know it touches my heart to hear people not just in the family talk about your dad, but those who are outside the family, those who we call family, even though by blood they are not. But it's hard having a name such as Hollis Watkins Jr. It's hard having a name like that. You got kids who I teach high school. You got kids who want to be silly and stupid and they want to figure out more about who my teacher is. And they Google him. You see this old man. And they're like, no, you ain't done enough dirt. You got to do something bad in order to be, my teacher, and they keep on looking at you, keep looking at you. They don't realize that you're my father. They don't know that until I tell them. And then when I tell them that, I tell them a little bit more about who you are. It's hard growing up, going from a little school here in Jackson, Adiambo, and then going to a public school and telling your teacher that the history lesson that you just taught was wrong. And then going to the principal's office and, it's hard to have the history teacher come to your math class, embarrass you in front of everybody, say, you need to come see me right now. Only to realize that he was about to be embarrassed because he didn't know he was about to play a recording for me. He thought he had me on a prank. He played a recording of my dad getting voters registered, and he heard the name Hollis Watkins. And he just knew up and down I had done something. No, that's my father. And he's like, well, we need to see him. We need to see him. You got to check his schedule. He's busy talking. He's it's hard to have some of your friends approach you and say, wait a minute, that's your father? That's your father? Yeah, that's my father. And them wanting to see you, them wanting to meet you, and knowing that, you're on the road doing this, you're on the road doing that, you're doing workshops, you're still working. And these people want to see you. They want to meet you. And they're looking at me like I got the magic formula to bring you here. The reverse Thanos, I guess, No, it's hard. But I'm glad it's hard because, Dad, you've been working. You've been working and you still working. And that right there, I will never, ever realize how great of a job you're still doing because you're working all the time and you're putting those seeds out there. I know so many faces, so many names from history that you have taught me. And you've pulled me aside and say, let's go here, and let's go. I want to meet you. I want to introduce somebody. For me to gather all that history in my lifetime. It's kind of like what Frank Figures did for us here. I had it for a lifetime. And even then, I need more time. So, Dad, you still got some more work to do. All right. Thank you, Father. I love you. I celebrate your birthday. I celebrate this freedom celebration.
I'm John Edward, and that's my dad. Before I get to my dad, though, I need to do, actually, hold on one second. Be with me. Heavenly Father, Lord, I just ask that you anoint my lips right now. Help me to speak your truth. And Father God, I pray that you bless the hearts and the ears that hear it, that they might understand my heart, where I am, and the love that I bring to this microphone. In Jesus' name I pray. First, I have to start with bringing honor to Sister Edna. Sister, you love my dad. You loved us before we knew you. We knew of you, but we didn't know you, but you knew us. And even when we are not easy to love, you've loved us. It's true. I know. And for that, I just want to thank you. Thank you, sincerely. I say assalamu alaikum to the Muslim community here.
Alaikum salam.
I thank you all because you all have been a community, a family for my dad. Most of us moved out. We left Jackson. Kay tried several times, but she keeps coming back. But you all have been here with him, have been here for us. Brother Charles, as he said earlier, he remembers me me and Hollis, when we were this little running around. And I thank you, brother, for doing life with my dad. I thank you for doing life and being there with us. You bring joy to me literally every time I see you, whether I get to speak to you or not. And so I thank the Muslim community here for your presence and for what you do in the community, for what you do. You're not just here. You're not, and please hear me, you're not a bunch of bow ties. You are soldiers on the field, and I appreciate you. It says freedom celebration. And to the freedom fighters, the freedom riders, those who are still today picking up their fist of righteousness and fighting for what is right for everyone. I thank you. Brother Frank, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your comments. Every time I get around a group of you all and you all talk about my dad, I learn something more. And I thank you for sharing that. I thank you for this community, for this group of people who gather to celebrate the fight. To acknowledge that the fight is not over, but to celebrate the fight and the fighters. When I think of you, I think of a passage of scripture. It says, no greater love is that than one who will lay down their life for a friend. That's right. And you all do that and have done that. Like Brother Watkins said, before we were even born, you had done that. That's right. So I thank you. I thank you. Guess what? Your turn, Dad. quite honestly, I'm not going to, if you all don't mind for just a minute, I'm gonna have a private conversation with my dad. It's gonna be public, but it's gonna be to you. I'm not talking to everybody here right now, Dad. I'm talking to you. Happy birthday. I love you. And I know that. I don't know if y'all heard him, but he said, I love you back. But see, here's the thing about it. My dad's been showing I love you for a long time. Scripture that made me, that I think about when I think about my dad is a passage in Luke chapter 15. It talks about the parable of the lost son. Here he is. But it's a son who had all that his father had to offer, but he thought he was better than, or he thought he deserved more, and he wanted what he was gonna get later, and it ran away. He squandered what his parents had given, what his father and his inheritance and what he had gotten. And then when he came to his senses, he ran back. He came to his senses and he ran back. When I was in middle school, I ran away from my mother's house. My dad welcomed me. He said, come on, you little son. Come on. You ain't too smart, but come on. My dad, and I don't know how they tried to do this, they tried to keep me out of being such an activist. But when I argued with the U.S. ambassador while we were in Nicaragua, and we got our hands spanked, my dad said, come on, son, I love you. When I marched on downtown in Minneapolis because of police brutality, imagine that, in 1989, not the recent one, and I got in trouble for that, my dad said, come on, son, I love you. I'm right here. He showed me he loved me. But then when I got even more rebellious and even towards my parents, when I borrowed my mother's car and I ran from the police in a high-speed chase just showing off with my friends, and I crashed the car and knocked down a tree. Kay, I think you remember that. You know what my dad said? That wasn't the best thing to do, but I love you. When I was just mad and angry at him, Dad, when I was mad and angry at you, honestly, because I wanted you and Mom back together, knowing that shouldn't have happened, and I was mad at, and I was lashing out at you, I lashed out and you loved back. I lashed, you loved. When I thought I knew more than you about being what a man is, even though you were the man who I modeled my life after and who I wanted to be like, when I lashed, you loved. There's so many wrong things that I did in my life, so many mistakes that I made. Dad, you just loved. The scripture in Luke 15, in particular, in verse 20 says, and this is after the son came to his senses, because I'd make these mistakes, but I'd always come to my senses. But this is after he came to his senses. It says, but while he was still a long way away off. So when I came to my senses, I started going back. His father saw him, and filled with compassion for him, he ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. Dad, no matter what I've done wrong, you've always been there to guide me to right. And when I turn back, you've always been there to welcome me with open arms. You've always thrown your arms around me. And while now my dad is not much of a kisser, I'm working on that. But, and this is truth. He doesn't necessarily like it when I kiss him. He feels uncomfortable. It's like, but he never pulls away. Dad, I love you. The words I spoke today cannot express to you how much I love you. But know, without any shadow of a doubt, that I do.
Y'all give it up to the children and family. Brother Hollis, Watkins, Muhammad, give it up, give it up. So now we have our special presentations. And this is New Freedom Summer Project 2021. Presents the Warrior for Freedom Award. And this, when they say Warrior for Freedom, this sister, this mama, this auntie, this everything has been that. And this is to Miss Betty Lambright. Give it up for Miss Betty Lambright for your unrelenting fight for education, liberation, and freedom, July 30th, 2021. I just thought I was gonna get to see Sister Betty. And I knew I was gonna have to see Nisa May.
Go back, please.
I gotta wipe the mic off.
Come on.
Keep these bad spirits off of it.
Come on, please. Hurry up.
Everybody say, we love you, Betty. Everybody say, we love you, Betty.
Move back, please. Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Brother Hollis, Sister Edna. It's so good to see y'all. Love you so much. Of course, I am not Betty Lambright. I am her daughter. And I'm proud to accept this award on her behalf. Many of you may not know that my mom had a stroke a few months ago and is recovering. So y'all please pray for her, but she's doing well. She is a student of Brother Hollis's. And when I became a student of Brother Hollis's, she was so proud and knew that I was in good hands. And so on her behalf, I thank you again and again and again. I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done for me, everything that you've taught me, and everything that you've brought to me, to this state, to this world. And on behalf of One Voice, all the One Voice staff, stand up. On behalf of One Voice, we thank you. Hollis, of course, has always been a friend and mentor for One Voice, so much so that we named our internship program in his honor, because Hollis has always believed in the spirit of young people and always understood that without young people in the lead, not just as students and following older people, but in the lead, that's how we're going to change this world. So thank you for everything, Brother Hollis, and looking forward to celebrating many more of these birthdays.
Give it up for Betty Lambright. Y'all give it up for Nishambi. Second special presentation, New Freedom Summer Project 2021 presents the Warrior for Freedom Award. Whew. I mean, we've already seen him in action. I call him the master teacher, to Mr. Frank Figures, for your unrelenting fight for education, liberation, and freedom. July 30th, 2021.
I didn't expect this. I don't get awards. But I thank you. I thank the New Freedom Summer Project for awarding me this. And I would say that, which I didn't get to say, that Brother Hollis, as he was to Mrs. Haynes' mother, Sister Betty, he was the same mentor to me because we met Brother Hollis on the campus of Tougaloo, and then we re-met him uh, as one of the co-founders of the Black and Proud School, the Black and Proud Liberation School. And we thank you for this. He was mentoring then, so much of who I am, Sister Kiki, much of who I am is because of what you shared with me. And I thank you.
Give it up, Mr. Figures. Really, really quick. I don't know if y'all noticed when they had one voice stand. Let me get that one voice staff to stand one more time. I want y'all to see something. Stand one voice. Look at all them strong sisters. Those are strong Black women working. Like Ella Baker, we've celebrated Sister Rakia, but I just wanted to celebrate that powerful staff there. And of course, my wife, I got to shout out because I'm scared of my wife. I just want to make sure that I don't have any problems telling y'all I'm scared of my wife. There you go. I am completely, she look all sweet and nice. I married a thug. I am the nerd in the household. I'm the ABC after school special kid. She is thug life forever. And I just, so I just have to shout that out. All right. So I want to have Brother Sean Muhammad come and give the introduction. Okay. So Brother Charles is okay. Come on, Brother Charles. Come on, brother. And while Brother Charles is making his way, when you talk about intellect warrior, this brother and I actually had a class together, Jackson State, the history class. This brother took the class and taught the class. I don't know if you remember that. And this brother took the class over one day because the professor was speaking on Africa and Brother Charles just couldn't take it no more. And he took the class over and the professor said, I always give this professor credit. The professor said, you know what, brother? For the next class, I want you to do a whole presentation. And that takes something for somebody who's in a position of authority, especially to see something to a student. And then when I became a teacher, I realized that I could learn as much from my students as I could teach them. And this brother, I don't know if you are a blueprint for me, that if you know something, stand on it. Don't ever be afraid to stand on it. Because not only will the truth set you free, you will set free everybody in that classroom. And I always wanted you to know that, brother, that you became a model educator for me. So please give it up for Brother Charles Muhammad.
I'd like to just say to Brother Epps that I really appreciate him developing this program to honor our Brother Hollis. First of all, I'd like to just greet you with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I was over there crying when I was hearing his son talk about his father. Brother Hollis has been so very much to me. When I was asked to move back to Jackson to represent the Nation of Islam, I was looking for those who were former or active members of the Nation of Islam. And Brother Hollis was pointed out to me that you need to meet Brother Hollis. And I was fortunate to meet Brother Hollis and his family, his wife, his children. I actually, one of his older daughters, we were in school together. But Brother Hollis, he assigned me to my first official minister role. His granddaughter died in birth. And I think it was twins. And he wanted her to have a janazah, a Muslim service. I don't remember, sir, grandson. When they twins, one of them lived and one of them died. And that was the greatest honor that I could have received, because that was the first official service that I gave. And he said, brother, you're the minister. You represent the nation here. I want you to do the service for my grandson. Brother Hollis would push me in front of the microphone when we were at meetings, and he said, man, say something, brother, say something. You represent the minister. And I was a very young minister who was learning how to be a minister. But Brother Hollis showed me how to be a minister. I traveled with him in many places throughout the state of Mississippi, and he would introduce me to his comrades and those who had been working with him for years. I love you, Brother Hollis. That humility that you spoke of, he's my teacher. I would go to different events where he would be speaking, and I would have on my suit, and Brother Hollis would have on a plaid shirt and some jeans, and the people would come up to me and say, Mr. Watkins, we're happy to have you here. I said, no, you see me holding his bags. That's Mr. Watkins right there. That's Brother Hollis right there. And it was fun, because when they saw him in his humble attire, after he left, after he spoke, they knew who were Mr. Watkins because of his history. Well, I'm here because we developed the Hollis Watkins Muhammad Human Development Foundation. And I shared with Brother Epps, I said, we need to create an award in the name of Hollis Watkins Muhammad Human Development Foundation. So this year, the first recipient of the Hollis Watkins Muhammad Human Development Foundation presents the Tribal Leadership Award to Brother Sean Muhammad for your leadership in creating positive, energizing, and sustainable vision in the city of Philadelphia, Mississippi. We award you on this day, July the 30th, 2021, the Tribal Leadership Award to Brother Sean Muhammad, who's going to come forth and receive this award, and he's going to introduce our brother Hollis Muhammad. Let's give him a round of applause. The reason we chose him because he, as a mentee of Brother Hollis, he took the challenge and he ran for office. And Brother Hollis has worked with so many politicians as I see our brother Benny Thompson up there at over Homeland Security and over this commission, it was Brother Hollis that encouraged me to go and hit the street and pass out flyers for Benny when he was running for supervisor down there in Bolton. So that's how far, that's how in depth that Brother Hollis is. He has been creating leaders all of his life. So Brother Sean, we award you and we love you and congratulations. Let's give him a round of applause.
Wow. I'm not used to getting anything, and I feel like I don't deserve anything, but I thank you all for doing that for me. And my family's not here because I'm Brother Hollis and Sister Edna's driver today. That's what kind of business I'm in, but professionally, but it's an honor today to do it for him and his wife. First, I would like to say, Assalamu alaikum, hotel, praise the Lord, hallelujah, whatever. Thank you so much. While I say all those things, the young man we celebrate today have taught me never to wear titles. And because you want the people to get to know you first. Yes, when you see me in bow tie and suit, you know that's our attire. But I don't dress down that much like Brother Hollis with a plaid shirt, but I be dressed down. And you just gonna know my heart. And you're gonna get to love me. And then I'm gonna take you to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Honorable Louis Farrakhan after you met me. And Brother Hollis, and when I decided to run alderman in Philadelphia, Mississippi, I thought about it. I said, I do not want to be a part of neither one of these parties. And I'm not a Democrat nor a Republican. I am not the independent of a green thing, but I'm an independent thinker. So I ran it independent and won. And everybody say, since you won, Brother Sean, and on my flyers and my thing is always say Brother Sean Seals, y'all know the Muhammad, that's the original name. But this is my government name is Seals. And they said, what should I call you now? I said, I got the best name that you always call me. Just keep it, Brother Sean. So happen to be now your alderman. Just keep it that way. Because this man taught me you don't have to be all these titles and stuff to do the work of God. You just do the work. And God get the glory, right?
That's right.
Why would you want to be the glory, son? But he do push me up there. And I don't want to take you along because we have been a beautiful program. But I got a call the day of the election. Sister Edna. Brother Shine. Yes, ma'am. What is it? You want Hollis to come up there? Do we need to come up there? I said, do we want to come up there? She said, well, I told him he need to go because we are in seriously shelter in place. And she said, he don't, but when I told him no, he shake his lips. And I know when he shake his lips, I said, let him come. He risked his life for me and rode all morning because I picked up my constituents. But first of all, let me go how I campaigned, how he taught me to do things. I went to everyone's house by myself. I didn't get a team. Each person door myself for Ward 4. It took me about 3 months. I went, if they had a camera, they saw my hanger, they saw my pit, they saw me at the camera, or they was at their door. Each individual. And Allah blessed me with 78% of the vote. And just so happened, my great minister over there, I'm a member of the mosque number 78. And Allah blessed me with 78 votes. And I love the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but I never met him. I love the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, been on security, but I never met him. All I know that what the example been in front of me is that's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in person for me. That is the Honorable Louis Farrakhan in person for me. And this is what I learned how to be. Because, Brother John, if you were my son, I'm working on it. God is still working with it. No. I wouldn't showed you love. I would showed you a different kind of love. But he teach me, Sean, don't do that. Because we be in business meeting, I start cussing, I forget about I'm a Muslim and all that. He'll look at me and say, I'll say, I'm going to shut up, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I'm done. I'm off that. He said, Sean, that horse is dead. Brother Sean, that horse is dead, so let's let it die. Yes, sir. That's me. Shut up, Sean. Stop cussing. But anyway, so everybody got to be real, right? I mean, because I ain't here to play no games and tell you whatever. And I told on those radio stations that I'm not going to deny the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. I'm not going to deny the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for Ward 4, Ward 2, Ward 1, mayor, whatever. I'm definitely not going to deny this man the reason why I'm there. So if you want to take that, I know it's on recording, just take it back. You have it. Because I'm still going to do the work that my father taught me. So, Brother Hollis, I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about you. And I want you to get up here and rock the mic and show me and tell me to shut up, Sean, and sit down, and you come and do your thing. I love you, and you're greater. I talk to you. I love my father. My father's living. But I talk to Brother Hollis, I think, more than my father. Not that there's no love different, but we have so much in common. We're business partners. We own a subdivision together. We do everything together. I do nothing without calling him just to see what he say. I make my own decision, but he'll say, Brother Sean, you may revisit that. Then I say, well, Brother Hollis, I think this is this. He said, Brother Sean, do you know for factual that? I said, no, sir. I'm thinking. He said, Brother Sean, assuming leaves the door for negative consequence. So don't assume, son. Have the fact. I said, yes, sir. So in this man, I have the fact that I will lay my life down for you. And that is the God honest truth, because I am a true friend, a true son to you. And you have been also that to me. And I love you. And I don't mind to drive all the way from Philadelphia, Mississippi to cut your hair and turn around and go back. See, you talk that stuff about you love him and you his friend, but this man called me. I had just got in from Atlanta, Georgia. He said, Brother Sean, I didn't like with my haircut, and I don't like my hair. Sister Ed don't like my hair. And I said, Brother Hollis, as soon as I get back in Philadelphia, Monday morning, I will be at your house. I brought my clippers, I cut his hair, and I turned around and went back to Philadelphia, Mississippi. And I wash some feet, brother. I do wash his feet because whatever he asks me to do, I'm there. Come on, Brother Hollis, and do your thing. Brother Hollis, Watkins, Muhammad, stand to your feet. Give this man a hand clap that you have never, ever done before, because he deserves it. And thank you all. Yes, sir, brother.
How does everybody feel this evening?
Wonderful.
Good. And we want to stay that way because we got a lot of work to do, a lot of fighting to take place, because when we look at the negative aspect that is about or pertaining to black people in this country, a lot of work will have to be done, or we're going to suffer a lot of things we should not suffer from. I've been called and put up here, so Sean, yeah, can't even hold my mic up right. One thing for sure, if I can't hold it up right, I'm gonna be caught trying to hold it up right. And that's the problem with too many of us, is that we don't know how to do things. And we give up the notion, the attitude, the spirit to try to do what's right. Many instances, the reason we don't do it is because we don't know. And there are too many of us that have given up on the whole teaching bit. A lot of us that's in the community need to know how to teach. You know, get your best buddy, get your friend, your sister, and do some practicing on them. Call them to deal with something about something, and you tell them, not before you start, but you tell them near the middle of the end and say, so and so and so, you know, I got to get myself together around these different issues and teaching. So that's what I've been doing with you. And I want to continue to do it a little bit at a time, because I believe you will understand what it is that I am trying to do. And it's all connected to the betterment of our people. Older people, if you don't already have a young person growing right now, you should not go to bed without having figured out and defined who this young person is. Who will I get to not necessarily follow after me, but to follow after so and so and so. To keep them from combusting you up, say, I know I hadn't done it, but I know you have the potential to go as far further than I went. Choosing the right people, then you can go further. And that's the way we all need to look at some young people. Say, I'm going to go after this young man. I'm going to go after this young lady. Work with them, teach with them, and build your organization, build your community. Same way, if you got a good issue that you know need to be dealt with, need to be worked on, then you will be successful. When we pull this line together to create a wall of protection for Tougaloo, I doubt over 2 of the brothers out there knew each other prior to them calling on one another and getting kicked off. Because all they was dealing with was saying, hey, look, our enemy has no mercy on us. Our enemy have no problem in making it harder for you to exist and live. But here again, if you can get close to your brother, close to your sister, and explain what this whole piece is about, explain how the allowing this entity to continue to grow and develop and become stronger and able to further destroy, Now just look at where Tougaloo is now. If we, as some of the folks say, if some old radicals, you know, what you mean by radical? I said, well, I saw, no. You got the wrong definition for a radical. The best radical we can be is to be one that's going to build an entity and work and develop and make things better for our people. Our people. A lot of times when we talk to some of our folks about that, they'll say, well, it shouldn't just be our people, should be people all together. So how many of them out there you talking about all together have killed or will kill without any problem? Me, you, or anybody else in our black community? No, we want to focus this on our community. And that's one of the things that I'm thankful and glad about Brother Sean. He's a young man that has always been open-minded. He's been a person that was willing to listen to you. If what you were saying and running down was way out, as some of us say, in left field, then that's a whole different thing. But you don't know whether it's going to be out there unless you listen to it.
That's right.
So you listen to it, and then that helps you to build or give your work a good framework because somebody else has already dropped something out there, be it makes sense or not. But it gives you a greater foundation that you must walk on and stand on. I don't want to get up here and try to talk too much. I want to ask y'all, I like to do a lot of singing. I like to do a lot of singing. And I want y'all to join in with me. And we sing a song of what have you. What about this little light of mine? Can we sing that?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna try to start this thing out and y'all hook in there with me. You don't know it?
Well, I would like to tell you thank you, Brother Hollis, for letting your light shine. Thank you, Brother Hollis. Letting your light shine. Brother Hollis, letting your light shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, all around the world. Oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Just a little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, my, just a little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I want to encourage us older people. Don't forget about our young people. And leave them out there to flounder
the water all by themselves. But have faith and confidence in them. If they don't get what they need to get the first time around, try it again. Because we didn't get to where we need to be and is today through listening at someone or doing something, attempting to do something at one time. So let us have patience and more tolerance with our young people. My daddy told me when I was growing up, if he said something, if I didn't get it or understand it when he told me, I need to ask him to try it again. And that's what we did. Because he says, don't tell a person that you know this and you know that when you don't have it. So I'm going to go on and sit down because I know my wife, she'll be jumping on me in a minute.
So, Dad, before you move to go sit down, I want to, Brother Sean, I appreciate this honor. Before I even present this, I want to say one other thing too. There's a difference between good and there's a difference between great. Great defines the quantity. It's the mass. It's the size. It's the enormity of a thing. And quality is represented by good. And the work that you have done throughout your lifetime has not only been great, but it is a good work. So on behalf of the New Freedom Summer Project of 2021, they present the Warrior of Freedom Award to Hollis Watkins Muhammad. And it reads, for your unrelenting fight for education, liberation, and freedom. Dad, we present you with this award.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. Tell you, when you strive hard, there's no telling what all you might get. And
Don't go anywhere.
oh my goodness.
I'm at the bottom of the mic a minute. Hello, everyone. I'm Kathy Sykes, a former state representative. And this resolution, proclamation rather, was one of the last things I did before I left office. And I'm looking at the date on it. It's November 2019. And so things happen for a reason, and that reason was for me to be here tonight and present this to Brother Hollis. Because November 2019, I'm about to cry, was a month before I had surgery for breast cancer. But I'm going to read the proclamation. A proclamation by the Speaker of the House of Representatives and Representative Kathy Sykes commending the outstanding citizenship and civic contributions of Mr. Hollis Watkins and recognizing him as a living legend. Whereas it is recorded in Mark 6 and Matthew 13:57 that a prophet is not without honor except in his own town and in his own home. But for nearly 6 decades, since the inception of the Mississippi Freedom Movement in 1961, Mississippi's civic and social activists communities have been favored with the bravery and resolute presence of Mr. Hollis Watkins, the visionary founder and president of Southern Echo Incorporated, a leadership development and educational organization that provides support to grassroots organizations in Mississippi. And whereas the youngest of 12 children, born on July 29, 1941, to his late sharecropper parents, Mr. John and Miss Lena Watkins in the rural Lincoln County hamlet of Chisholm Mission on the outskirts of Summit, Mississippi. Mr. Watkins graduated from Lincoln County Training School in 1960 and thereafter attended Tougaloo College, which was a rare collegiate institution immersed in its commitment to the freedom movement, and where Hollis's exposure to the movement ignited the flame within him to be an agent of progressive change for equality. And whereas at the age of 19, Watkins became one of the first young Mississippians to commit to work full-time with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, as an organizer, while still earning credit hours toward a degree at Tougaloo through the college work-study program. After meeting Bob Moses at an organizational meeting at the Masonic Temple in Macomb, where Dr. Martin Luther King was originally scheduled to speak, and whereas once entrenched in the movement, Mr. Watkins became a mentor and role model for countless young aspiring activists throughout the state, particularly Southwest and Central Mississippi, staging sit-ins, walkouts, numerous voter registration drives, and canvassing, aiding in the establishment and instruction of freedom schools during Freedom Summer, beginning with the 1964 Mississippi Summer Project, and serving in the 1967 campaign, which saw the successful election of Robert G. Clark as the first African-American elected to the Mississippi State Legislature as a member of the House of Representatives since Reconstruction. Whereas an outstanding pillar of the community who believes strongly in the power of local activism and control, Mr. Watkins' wisdom proved wise beyond his years, and his ability to bridge the generational gap between an energized younger and learned older activists in their approach to promote social change served as one of his hallmark traits and became the moniker that characterized Mississippi's freedom movement. Whereas one who has dedicated his life to human rights activism and social equality through SNCC and Southern Echo of Mr. Watkins remains a powerful force in the efforts to carry out the unfinished business of the civil rights movement. And as a member of the heroic vanguard who stared in the face of adversity and oppression, threats to his life and even incarceration for his honor and esteem in his bosom, and zealously empowers I'm sorry. As a member of the heroic vanguard who stared in the face of adversity and oppression, threats to his life and even incarceration for his stance on civil and social equality, he carried the tenets of charity, respect, honor, and esteem in his bosom, and zealously empowers others through the political process and education, where it's both appropriate and fitting and proper to acknowledge the invaluable contributions of such a remarkable stalwart ambassador for the community, civic and social progress as Mr. Watkins, whose empowering investment of time, patience, and dogged perseverance has transformed the lives of countless many through his work in the civil rights movement. Now, therefore, as members of the House of Representatives of the state of Mississippi, we hereby commend the outstanding citizenship and community and civic contributions of Mr. Watkins and recognize him as a living legend and convey our grateful appreciation for his presence and gift of sharing his life's light with all mankind. Thank you so much. We love you, Brother Hollis.
I just want to say one of my most tragic dealings while incarcerated was when they sent me from Greenwood to the Mississippi State Penitentiary, where I spent, 55 days in the Mississippi State Penitentiary, just for trying to help feed poor people in the Mississippi Delta. Thank you, thank you.
Give it up, give it up, give it up. We are at the home stretch. Show them your love. And all those warriors.
All right. We're gonna give Brother Hollis a chance to get to his seat, and then we're gonna do the last thing and go home. The last thing on the program says closing musical selection. Okay. It doesn't say remarks after the musical selection. If you that person that like to get up at the end of church and kill the blessing, cause Pastor, I just got you had your chance at testimony time right for the offering. That's right, song of song. So the sister said we're gonna do it collectively. I'm sorry. No. I want to say your name. I just remember I can't read the lip print. Yes, I'm still. So Tanya Boyd Cannon, thank y'all for tolerating me. Appreciate it. I'd like to say thank my wife for tolerating and not shooting me since 1991. I've been with the same woman since 1991. I don't really know how many years that is. I'm just happy that she ain't shanked me in all them years. So I'm just happy that the thug hadn't got me. So come on up, sister. She says it's gonna be a. Come on, sister.
I also like to say I am a Tougaloo alum. Whoop, whoop. Jackson born, New Orleans raised. My father's Reverend Samuel Boyd, pastor of Pearl Street. He always said to say that as a kid. So I'm going to make that known. And Gloria Boyd is my mama. But we're going to do it like we do in New Orleans. You ready, DJ? Man, let's go. Brother Hollis, this is happy birthday to you, the way we would do it at home. So I know y'all done been to New Orleans. Y'all done had a good time in New Orleans. And we just gonna do it like that when that beat drop, okay? All right. Now, Brother Hollis, you like to move and dance too? No. All right, Sister Edna, she said, Here we go. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, that is. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And that's it. Celebrate.
Celebrate. Tell them you love him. Thank y'all for coming. We are done. Keep on loving on each other. Keep on helping each other. Keep on working with each other.
Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless y'all. Good night.